we're going to go straight into Bad Tape 2 by Denise Audio. Now I'm using this on my drum part on this track. I'm going to turn it on because I've turned it off. Let's have a listen to see what it sounds like. I'm going to add in another instance of it, so Denise and Bad Tape 2, and we're going to make sure it's before the compressor. If you're wondering what compressor that is, that's a compressor by Arturia. It's really good. So now that we have Bad Tape 2 just as it is, let's have a bit of a further look as to how it affects its sound. So I'm going to play again. And we can use these controls to essentially shape our sound. Also, this control up here lets us change whether the band is a shelf or a cut or anything like that. And that's our control with our EQ. So even just straight away with Bad Tape, you can use it to shape your sound alongside adding your saturation. The controls we have here are the amount of tape saturation we have, the color of the tape saturation as a percentage, and also pull, which is how it affects the sound based off of our curve that we have. So if I play again and explore that pearl a bit for you, or that pull rather, not pearl, that's a knitting thing. Now we can control the rest of the tape, and Bad Tape 2 gives you quite a lot of control. In fact, a lot more control than a lot of my other tape saturators. The only thing I can think that would give me more is something like Saturn 2 from FabFilter, because that doesn't necessarily only have tape saturation, it also has other types of saturation, but it doesn't let you explore in the same way that this does, things like adding in your wow and flutter, adding in just some general dirt and harm to the tape itself, adding in a bit of that hiss, a bit of that squeal. Let's just see what everything does. So these are the settings I've decided to stick with. I might actually turn that up a little bit and turn this up here. Let's hear it in the context of everything else and see if we've done a good job. And that's overall what Bad Tape 2 sounds like. Now, I quite like Bad Tape 2. If you do lo-fi music, this might be a pretty cool plugin for you because you can use it to dirty up your sounds and dirty up your loops without necessarily having to use something as broad as RC20. The gotcha is that this is just tape. Doesn't sound like any specific type of tape. It still sounds pretty good. If you want something that's a bit more on the realistic side, that's when you'd maybe look at either the offerings by Arturia, or probably you'd be looking at Softtube, to be fair, or maybe even Audio Thing Reels if you wanted a reel-to-reel tape sort of thing. But on saying that, this is still pretty good. And I think the amount of control that you get, even compared to a lot of tape plugins, makes it worth it. There's definitely a lot of realistic tape plugins that exist, but there's nothing quite like Denise's Bad Tape in my opinion. Surprisingly, as a Bad Tape plugin, it's pretty good. Okay, yeah, that's the only joke I'm allowed. Okay, fine, right. Okay, bye.